Fact.
All right. No, it's okay. Just something happening here in the studio. Just. All right. Yes, but that's one of the things that persons need to be mindful of. In that, especially when the roads are wet. We never know what the conditions of the road really and truly are. There are many times when there is gravel that's on the road that you may not see. There might be times when oil may also be on the road that you might see if the sun hits it at a particular angle, the sunlight hits it at a particular angle, you're going to see it. All right. So it's just one of those things to be mindful of. Yes, we're on the road. No, we're not all fast and furious drivers. No, we're not NASCAR drivers. So everybody just needs to be a bit more mindful when they're on the roads, especially when you are carrying passengers, whether it's your
Yeah.
family, your friends, just to be mindful.
Yeah, and this is something we hear all the time too. Be careful on the road. And one thing I've heard drivers say, when you're driving, you have to drive for you and others. That's what I've heard my driver friends say, because you never know when something might go wrong. So always be vigilant.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else you wanted to add as final thoughts there, Crystal?
I was just observing the area a little bit more when I was coming down, and right where I assumed the vehicle went over, there wasn't any fencing, and I couldn't remember if that it was always like that. You pass places every day and you just don't notice certain things.
Oh,
I don't know how much of an. By the way, it's already boarded up, and funnily, right? They had just delivered cement. Like a couple of hours before. Oh, the devil works. The devil works. But yeah,
why do we
just to be
you see
mindful.
you see this is the thing with blaming the devil, sometimes humans responsible for their own situations.
Nah, the devil,
I
the
find
devil.
sometimes I know
Sometimes
I find
spirituality influences people's actions. Yeah.
yeah, but there are sometimes if it's something like driving safely, then how is it the devil gets involved in that?
Sometimes you never
Sometimes.
know. The devil. Yeah.
All right. And just to
Yeah.
wrap up this segment, yesterday news broke that Joe Biden will be stepping down. He will no longer be running for re-election in the race for US president. And it has been reported that he has endorsed Kamala Harris, who is his vice president. So, which would make for an interesting political race, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah,
a female, or because Joe Biden is out.
Both.
because it's going to be a female against Trump.
And
That
as
should be that should be easy. Hopefully.
prosecutor causes felon as their theme in their campaign.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting presidential election. If Kamala Harris does indeed get the nod to go ahead, I just thought it would be interesting. She is, I think she might be the second person in history in terms of female candidates running for elections. First would have been Hillary Clinton, if I'm not mistaken. First would have been Hillary Clinton. And if I'm not mistaken as well, she was up against Trump, if I have my facts there lined up correctly. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, my sister. Just want to say a quick thing on the
All
matter
right.
with
So,
Kamala
Mr.
Harris.
Hamilton, we would
Thank you. Well, that's our time for today.
Right. So, yes, it would just be interesting to see what happens in that runoff. I probably don't want to call it, but I have a slight feeling that Trump going to go back. Right. But that's just how I feel at this time. I honestly do. I honestly have a strong feeling that Trump is going to go back. I ain't trying to predict U.S. elections, but that's all I say.
Kamala has been getting a lot of support. The other Democrats, her fellow Democrats, are in support of her From what I saw, I was reading through a few articles. I noticed that she has a lot of support thus far.
And I noticed they're saying that more pledges or more funds have started to come in,
I saw
given
that,
that Biden has now dropped out of the race, right? So I guess they were just waiting for him to announce it. They were just waiting for him to announce it and say that he's stepping down. So the money started flooding back in again. So, yeah. Christal?
I'm not surprised by his decision. I think the only surprise is only now. But he's going to be president until January. So we'll see what happens in the months or days leading up to the elections. I wish them all the best.
Okay. And someone is correcting me as well, or updating me that Sarah Palin also ran as well. All right. So she was another female candidate. So yeah, it would be nice to see a first female Black president of the US. But we gonna see what happened. As I say, I ain't trying to call it, but we gonna see what happened.
Left to be seen.
All right. So we are going to take a quick ad break at this time. And just to remind you that coming up next, we would have Traffic Talk. And then at 7:45, we would have Today with Mr. Lansford Weeks. All right. So stay tuned for more commentary on today's Activated Mornings.
It's the Quartz Appliance event. Cook it, try it, bake it on a new Mabe 30-inch gas stove for only $2,399. Stack it, pack it, and